Been tending your hounds? You smell like a wet dog. All right, then.
I've suffered worse during training.
Withdraw.
Come on.
I have forgotten what I swore you mortals can provide.
Going to put you down! You think I'm afraid of you?
Hiding will not save you.
This was for the dragon, huh?
You think I'm afraid of you? Die, dragon!
I'll die this day.
Not bad. Not bad. I'll be seeing you. What can I help you with today? Can I help you? Is there anything else for me? What do you need? Yes? What in the... Where are you? Show yourself. Where are you?
Hi there. Of course.
Yep. Actually, it's done. I can't say for sure if the publisher will like it. At this point, I don't really mind if he doesn't. All it means is I have room to grow. I know I'm still aspiring. My journey is far from over. Still, the fact that you was willing to listen, and you were willing to help, means it's also far from hopeless. Here.
Where are you?
It went down just north of Windhelm.
What is it?
Greetings. Need something. And here I thought the story of the orc with the stone hands would never get told. Glad to see you've kept it safe. Now, let me take a look. Now this, my friend, is a story. Give me a season or two, and the name Jaspar Gersten will be known from here to Strozem Kai. Here, take this gold. Half is for you, and the other half is an advance for our newest writer. Well, good is a relative term. For a debut novel from an unknown writer, it's not bad. But the lad has potential, and I think it's worth investing our time. Safe travels.
There's nothing like a good song to lift the spirit in troubled times.
I have
Spare
no
some
business
gold
with you.
for a veteran?
Leave me.
Huh? Oh, so
Hello, I'm Gisli, but you can just call me Erica's sister. Everyone does.
I once captained a ship called the Argent Raptor. She struck an iceberg and went down just north of Windhelm.
Your ancestors wouldn't want this, Silas.
Why should I hide from it? This is my family's legacy.
It's the past. Dead oaths on dead lips. Let it stay there.
The museum is opening, Medina.
I beg you, don't go into Silas's museum. Silas comes from one of the oldest families in Dawnstar. They have a complicated history. Several of his ancestors belonged to the Mythic Dawn, the cult that almost destroyed Tamriel. His family's involvement was only found out well after the crisis had died down, but it still ruined their reputation. They were outcasts. And now Silas is back, and this museum to the Mythic Dawn is his way of trying to rebuild his family's pride. It's misguided. Not a student of history, I see. It's for the best. They're a group that should be forgotten. The only thing you need to know is that they almost destroyed the world, and they were stopped a long time ago. That museum is a mistake.
And here comes my first visitor. The Museum of the Mythic Dawn is open, friend. Never mind that. Medina is a good woman, but I have my own reasons for opening this museum, and I'm not changing my mind. I have a collection of artifacts from the group that toppled an empire. Their importance to history cannot be forgotten. Why don't you come in? You can browse the displays and we can talk. I have a job you look perfect for. Let's talk inside. Feel free to look around. Come talk to me when you're ready to discuss that job I mentioned. Feel free to look around. Come talk to me when you're ready here and outside were found in hideouts, where members of the Mythic Dawn would meet and plot. The cult's greatest accomplishment was the assassination of the Septim Dynasty and the opening of the Oblivion Gates. Where are you? Did you have any questions about the museum? Or would you rather talk business? It's no secret that my family were once members of the Mythic Dawn. One of my forefathers was even chosen to assassinate Uriel Septim himself. We hid from our past for years, became tradesmen, people of coin and influence. But I realized that the Mythic Dawn's importance, our importance, to history cannot be denied. I'll see everyone in Tamriel remember that for a moment, we held the fate of the world in our hands, for good or ill. And here you are. I hope you found the museum to your liking. They were worshippers of Mehrunes Dagon, the Daedric Lord of Destruction and Change. The Mythic Dawn killed Uriel Septim VII and his heirs, triggering the events that led to the Oblivion Crisis when the Daedra invaded Tamriel. All that remains of the infamous cult, I've gathered in my museum. Ah. An excellent question. Mehrunes Dagon is the Daedric Lord of Change, Destruction, and Ambition. Dagon's Mythic Dawn cult killed the Septim Dynasty and opened the Oblivion Gates into Tamriel. They called it the Oblivion Crisis. A little history first. After the Oblivion Crisis, a number of groups cropped up dedicated to wiping out the remnants of the Mythic Dawn. One of these groups found Mehrunes' Razor, the artifact of Dagon. They split it into 3 fragments and pledged to keep them apart forever. That was almost 150 years ago, and the pieces are still being kept by the descendants of that group, and they're right here, in Skyrim. At least 2 of the owners, Gunzel and Draskua, are dangerous marauders. And the 3rd owner, Jorgen, I only know he lives in Morthal. The Razor is Mehrunes Dagon's personal artifact. It has always heralded bloody change and carnage. It's held many names. Dagger of the Final Wounds, Bane of the righteous, the Kingslayer. The Mythic Dawn worship Dagon as a god. Having his razor would be invaluable to my collection. Good luck finding the fragments. That burned paper is all that remains of the fabled Mysterium Xarxes, the blasphemous book written by Mehrunes Dagon himself. It's said that Mankar Cameron used the book to open a portal to a paradise, where all his followers would live forever. The commentaries on the Mysterium Xarxes were written by the Mythic Dawn cult leader, Mankar Cameron. He promised a paradise awaited his followers when they died, that they would be reborn by Mehrunes Dagon's side. Huh?
Where are you? What can I do for you? I'll allow it. Let's get going. I'm heading home if you need me.
Deserve our praise you do, for we are one. Ere you ascended, and the 8th became 9, you walked
What are you looking at? You have a death wish, then? If you know that name, you must know to meet him would be to meet your end. But it seems we both have needs, friend. Perhaps we can help each other out. I have dishonored my brothers by being captured, and so they have left me here. My life with the Alakir is over now. but I have no wish to die in this god's forsaken land. If I can be released from prison, I may start over. See to that, and I'll tell you what you want to know. Because I was clumsy enough to be captured, Kamatu always says, we're supposed to be the best of the best. I wasn't. 100 gold will secure my release. You can afford that, can't you? I suppose you'd better hope you can, if you want the information. Get the money into the hands of one of these guards, and I'll tell you what you want to know. Until next time.
They say if a vampire so much as scratches you, you'll turn into one. I'd better not be true. Done. Convince him to stay out of the city while you're at it.
What are you looking at? You buy my way out of here, and I'll tell you what you want to know. Very well. Kamatu is west of Whiterun. It's an unassuming little cave called Swindler's Den. You realize if you set foot in there, you're never coming back out. They'll kill you, but that's your problem, not mine. Guard! My fine's been paid, now set me free!
Sorry, my ears aren't so good. You say something?
I said my fine has been paid. Now let me out!
Right. Oh, look at that. I seem to have lost my keys. Might take me a while to find them. You just sit tight. I'll get around to it eventually.
Curse you!
There's a cave here. Perfect hideout for bandits, or worse.
That's close enough. You picked up.
Come on! You can't win this!
Fall back!
Not impressed.
Die, damn it!
Victory,
They never knew
for
what
now.
hit them. I'm gonna put you down. I will destroy you. Come on! I've had enough of you. That's your best, huh? Scratch.
Kill you!
Come on, show me what you got.
Somebody thought I heard something.
Where are you?
Once I've made... Before my ma and Da passed, I told them that one day, I'd become the best trader in Skyrim. I met one of the caravan leaders, Madron. He said he'd help me get started if I could bring him a mammoth's tusk. Easier said than done. You'd do that? If you find one, I could teach you a thing or two about trading. Help you get a fair bargain in the future? Farewell.
The Thule. He summons the Thule.
Come to a love of her reading, did you? Sorry, pup, but I'm not quite in the mood. Where are you?
There's been talk amongst the guards that you are dragonborn. But such a thing, surely that's not possible.
Any news of the Alakir? Of course. At last, I can rest safely. You have done me a great service, warrior. I cannot thank you enough. Take this reward. I managed to sneak some of my wealth out of Hammerfell when I left. It's the least I can do. For now, I will maintain my ruse here. You are always welcome in the Bannered Mare. Well now, I guess my thanks. But I sense that perhaps you're after more than just that. You tell me. Ask anything. I am yours. I'm your whore. Whatever you want. The world is ripe with people looking to spill your blood. Dangerous and cruel. You've been out there in the wide world. You know its perils. But I don't have much to offer one who has so much already. I am grateful for your interest in my bedroom prowess. I have goods to offer if you have need. I was hoping you would say that. I'm ready. More than ready. I would be most pleased. I am yours, Master. Now, shall we?
Where are you?
You and I should spend some time together.
That sound, it's deafening. Let's get going. Of course. Victory. For now. I am a... Well done indeed.
Who is it? What business does it have here? Does it know me by name? I only know it by heart. Skiel the Grey, they call me, but you can call me Horace. As for you, you are the one they call Pesiel the Pink. That is what I should know. That is my business. Well, that's a stupid name. It doesn't even rhyme with Erkingthand. That That's no way to address a fellow performance artist. I'm a skeleton. How is it I can talk? That's how. Listen and repeat. Just like history. Fine history we've got here. Dwarven make, am I right? But I'm sworn to repeat some things more than others. Like, I've got a bad feeling about this. Or, make it quick. And, well, for variety, sometimes I say, make it quick. I've got a bad feeling about this curved sweet roll from Hammerfell. It all makes more luck than sense. And it's better to be lucky than stuck doing guard duty. Just ask my cousin. Not all skeletons are alike. You of all people should know that, Pessilda-Pink. You're half skeleton, if I recall correctly. I forget what the other half was, but in any event, I have a tongue, but not a cheek to put it in. I lost it, and the rest of my flesh during that 1 year. You know, the red one. Of course, Persil. I forgot about that time you drank 365 bottles of vintage red wine as part of a bet with your liver. Your face was pink throughout the whole ordeal, but I refer to that red molehill that melodramatic people like to call a mountain. See, I was living in Morrowind at the time, training to be a court... what do you call those things? With the robes and the magic spells. No, that's not it. Not enough bells on their hats. In any case, I was applying to be a court... something or other. A significant other, perhaps. Significant given the time. There was a sprinkle of gloom dust in Morrowind, but I knew my act in a warm fire would get that chill out of the air. Well, specifically, I would juggle 3 fireballs. Then I would fling them over my head and swallow them one by one as they fell. Then I would make a face, as if I had ingested something incredibly hot. Then rush over to a flagon of water and douse it on my head. Indeed. First era comedy at its finest. Of course, I don't claim to be the best jester in Skyrim. Yolen's armpits have that honor. All I ask is for a fair chance. Luckily, that chance would come soon, as in hundreds of years ago, when Crimson painted the sky. Not at all. Destruction magic's fine, until you burn down a couple of buildings. Even then it's okay, so long as it's funny. Some might say, keep your jokes to yourself, Gloomleaf. For that is what I do. I steal away your sadness. But you know what I say? I say, watch the skies, traveler, and then I kick them in the groin. Well, it's a short story. Let me begin with chapter 1 of 396,000. It all began when I was lying about in a cave, minding my own business plan to start an underground skooma operation. The first few weeks it was doing rather well, but I had to keep my eyes open because I knew the orcs would swoop down at any time. Indeed, they take to mining like stormcloaks to bigotry. And sure enough, they came. Given I was outnumbered, I decided to play dead, which is usually a dead giveaway that someone had died. Namely, me. In fact, one of the orcs marched right on over to me. I thought he was going to disrespect the law and disrespect me. Only he casted his fancy magic somewhere else, right into the ore deposit. It turns out he wasn't trying to kill me, he was trying to make me rich. Because when he chipped at the vein, out came diamonds. But then the sneak thief tried to keep the gems for himself. Didn't make an oyster of difference when I leapt up and scared him. Roundabout? No, I'm as straight as an arrow. Walking the straight, but never narrow. Vargas the Black, he was a man who lived by hook or crook. I mean that literally. Vargas had a hook for a hand and a crook in his nose. As I said, Scale the Grey will always give it to you straight. That's hard to say. I used to be mortal, but I prefer not to be. Lightly boned means light on my feet. I like that. It happened after I was chased out of Morrowind for making everyone laugh, and I lost half my face in the process. Well, they say everything in Tamriel flows to Blackmarsh. I'm in everything, so I flowed there. But then this Sloth Point, I think they called it, twisted trees, a matrix of vines, and flying pieces of black grain. So I knelt down by a particularly gruesome tree, took off my boots, and let my feet fight the air for who smelled worse. Then I took a nap. The last thing I remember before waking up was the wind swimming through my toes, then nipping at them, then eating them. A conjurer woke me up just as the flesh flies were making dinner out of my heel. I said, "Hail, summoner, conjure me up a warm grave, would you?" Instead, he just rifled through my tunic and ran off. I hope he wasn't planning any thievery, as he would have been vastly disappointed. It doesn't? Well, it shouldn't. I am what I am because of a healthy diet and daily exercise. There is no other explanation. Don't be ridiculous. I lost them in Valenwood, along with my chest, on a patch of growing mold. Perhaps you'd like me to tell you about that, too? Well, I remember walking through the forest, a river of sweat on my brow. The more I wiped it, the more my gloves started to drown. So I removed my gloves and I lay in a patch of moss. But I was still hot, so I took off my trousers, too. Then my tunic started chafing, so off that went. Then I started to notice tiny worms of smoke rising from my chest. It felt like a flame spell was scorching my back. I said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, watch the magic." But the mole did not listen. I would learn a thing or two the hard way. The first thing was that the glow was caused by some sort of acid. The second was that acid burns. I've got a lot of respect for the Restoration School. Skyrim could use a lot more valid schools of magic. But if I were a healer, I would have healed my head, instead of tumbling head over heels. Somersaults are my trade, and cartwheels. By Ismir's eyebrows, I do love cartwheels. Such transcendent comedy. Fine, go, and don't come back to these. That's a bad question. A better question would be why they no longer call me Scale the Blonde. Great question, I'm glad you asked. It must be the hair. Once upon a time, my hair was the color of the sun in old paintings. Then it was gray. Then it fell out. That is to say, it all fell into place, and fell onto the floor. That's why I mine the dirt. It knows where the blondes are buried. That's a good start, although completely on the wrong foot. We need to put our best foot forward, the one made of iron and designed for chipping ore. Right away, no lollygagging. Well, I remember walking through the forest, a river of sweat on my brow. The more I wiped it, the more my gloves started to drown. So I removed my gloves and I lay in a patch of moss. But I was still hot, so I took off my trousers too. Then my tunic started chafing, so off that went. Then I started to notice tiny worms of smoke rising from my chest. It felt like a flame spell was scorching my back. I said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, watch the magic." But the mole did not listen. I would learn a thing or two the hard way. The first thing was that the glow was caused by some... I would learn a thing or two the hard way. The first thing was that the... They say Helgen got hit by a dragon. One of those horrors come here, we'll be ready to hide behind our women and children.
anyone there? Well, that's taken care of, for now.
Yield, and I may still show mercy. It's pass. This ends now.
Why won't you listen?
You think I'm afraid of you?
I hear the East Empire Company has reopened, thanks in no small part to you. Well done. All of your stomach benefits from their trade.
No! Come on, show me what you got.
Looky here. Looks like you got...
Come on, let's see you put up a fight.
Stop right there, criminal scum.
I will destroy you, bird!
Do you need something?
Of course.
I can make all your problems with the ladies go away, but it'll cost you. What do you say?
Where are you?